The contact that I've had with the foster family who's caring for my daughter has been quite extensive after the initial placement. She calls me, I call her. It's very open, very friendly. When we go doctor's appointments, that kind of thing, people assume like we're sisters, or it's very comforting, puts me at ease.
My relationship with the foster parent as well is still continuing to grow. My son still sees the family that he was placed with. They are still a very big part of our lives.
The foster parents in our situation we're beginning to develop a relationship right now. We haven't really met them at this point because we're like in the beginning stage of the process. So at this point of the game, we haven't had the opportunity to meet with them personally. However, we do communicate with writing notes with one another, and that's brought some comfort to us because at least we know some of the things they think and some of their ideas and some of the activities that they do with our child. So it's been a blessing to know that they're taking care of her.
For me though, it's a little bit hard because I don't know the people, and I don't know if she is safe, because I know there are foster parents out there that do it just for the money, and it scares me that I don't know at night. You know, I wish I could meet these people and know more about them. Like you were saying, how you're comfortable with them, you meet with them all the time. I wish I had that bond, but I haven't had that chance yet.
It is a bond it's a relationship that will continue to grow. Absolutely. And I remember the beginning just hating, and it's such a strong word, but hating, and I would be so jealous because she had my son and I didn't, and thinking that, you know, she was better than me, or she, you know what I mean? And oh my goodness, let yourself go and try to know that your child is in the best care. Nobody can care for their own child as much as a mother. And that feeling of not knowing will go away as you do build a relationship with the foster parents. A lot of what I expected from the foster parents was, in the beginning, was a little more openness. I understand that their situation is opening their home to a child that, you know, just needs care. That's all they know. That's all they know, is that the child that's coming into their house right now needs love. And there's no better love than a mother's love. But to know that there is somebody there that, you know, is giving him love when I was unable to.
I think for me, it's that could make it a little bit better is not judging us, and being more receptive of us and more accepting of us, and giving us the chance to basically to prove that we are capable of being good parents, and to love our children, and to make us comfortable, and to communicate with us, and to not hesitate to ask us questions and things of that nature. And I think that could help us, you know, become, you know, more comfortable with the foster parents. I think that what I would love for them to tell my children is some of the things that I would like to tell my children. That she has people that care about her and love her, that regardless of the circumstances or the situation, that she would always be cared for, and just to nurture her and sing to her, to be loving to her, and to treat her as their own. My
explanation about, you know, why And we do call the family every week, every other day. I'm sending them pictures, is that he was there while Mama got better. Mama needed to get better in order to care for him. So I'll always be open and honest with him and explain, you know, why he is a part of their lives.
Communication, the
Honesty.
openness, yeah, you know, the honesty, and I guess that the honesty and the communication kind of comes together to have that openness amongst that, you know, they can call with a concern they might be having. And again, this is age appropriate. You know, how would you handle something like this? Do you approve of me doing it this way? You know, like I said, I mean, I thank God every night for where my daughter is placed, because you know, when we get to for doctor's appointments, you know, there's that bonding there. So she's taken care of it. I mean, and she calls me with questions, you know, little things. I'm in the medical field, so she'll call me for advice sometimes, which is just really cool because it kind of gives me that feeling as mom. So that's like a number one. And I know sometimes that's hard because, like you're saying, you haven't had that opportunity to meet him yet. But that'll come.
When our daughter was first taken into the system, we wrote down some certain questions to the foster parents just to get a keynote of who they really are. And we requested that they would write us back with the questions. And part of the questions was, well, what are their belief systems? What are their religion? What are they, have they had kids in the system before? I mean, these are imperative questions that we would like answers to, because we want professionals, those who have history being involved with certain kids of needs, because our kid was a special needs child. So these questions were imperative and important to us. So we needed those questions to be answered to give us, you know, a certain idea on how these folks, you know, take care of their kids and who they are. So.
And then they answered a quarter of the questions. They really didn't answer.
I think it was
hardly any of them. That was really hard.
Yeah. Some people feel uncomfortable with asking personal questions of their religion and stuff like that, and those things were never answered.
I think it would be right away.
I agree.
In my opinion, the best time to meet the foster family that will be caring for your child is immediately, as soon as possible. I do know that, you know, we judge people first on appearance, always and foremost. And if you see somebody who is taking care of themselves, you honestly know that they're going to care for your child.
I think the lack of communication, again, that's like, I think that brings parents to a point where they just don't know what to do.
Or the things that they're doing with her. How often she's getting a bath. That was like a big question to me. And I'm not getting an answer. It's like simple things like that. And I'm not getting answers to. And to me, that's important. I want to know how often you're bathing my baby. And you know, clipping her nails, all that little stuff. You know, she could scratch her eye and not be able to see. She, you know, she's already got a mark above her eyelid.
See, we just started in this process, so we really haven't experienced what these young ladies have experienced. So we're just beginning, and it's like we expect more out of them, you know, so it's like we're just waiting for it to happen.
I can remember the visits, and just the fact that somebody was there with a pen and paper writing down the fact that, you know, I dropped a goldfish on the floor and still let my son eat it, or the visits in in-facility visits were probably the worst. When I was granted home visits, it was a step forward, definitely, to be in the comfort of your home, to lay, to lay your baby down in their own crib and to walk in their own room with them and play with their own toys was the best feeling ever. And to know that, he was one step closer to coming home.
I think I agree with everything she said. I think it's more comfortable with being at home versus being in a facility and having people hawking over you and judging you and writing things down on paper. And it's interesting because I believe that no one's a perfect parent, and you want to demonstrate that you're sincere, you want to be the best parent as possible, but you're going to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
And
parenting is nothing but a learning process
yes.
for everybody involved.
And what's so awesome about that is when my facilitator, with those who watch my visits, I always ask questions. If I'm not doing something right, please correct me, because I want to be a good father, and I want to be taught the right way in doing so. So I always ask them questions if I feel I'm not comfortable in doing something. And if I'm not doing something right, if I don't know the question or the answer to something, I'm always straightforward and honest with them. So that, for the most part, has been going pretty much well.
Like he said too, our visits just got switched to like community visits where we can go to the park, zoo, places like that. I'd rather go and sit at the park than be sitting in one room with two people sitting there, like she said, with a pen writing every single thing down that you're doing. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would have to say after our visits, when they're going away, when they're leaving, you just don't want to say goodbye. You don't want to let them leave. I think besides sharing those precious moments and wanting that feeling and seeing them going away with strangers, I'm still like green on a field. I'm still learning. This whole process is new to me, and I'm trying my best. And my only hope is to be as strong as you ladies are, and to know how to cope with it. But I think one of the most hardest things is seeing them go away after the visits.
But they were so short when I was in that building that it went so quick. And I was just so into seeing her that I guess I kind of thought, let them think what they want to think. This is me. And I'm taking every minute I have.
The first couple of days when my son didn't come home, how I felt, I felt like I was honestly in a living hell, that I couldn't breathe. It felt like my entire life and my entire being was gone, and to be able to move on without him seemed impossible. Just like I was never gonna, and it seemed never ending.
I was informed about their whereabouts because I received a letter when I was incarcerated, and the letter indicated in detail of the reasons why my kids ended up in the system. And that's how basically I was informed of the situation. No one came out and spoke those words to me. So it was just, I basically read it, and it was a little difficult for me to accept that, because it's different versus someone coming out and speaking to you versus receiving a letter in the mail. When I heard about it, when I read it, it's scared. It's hurtful. I was sad. I shed tears because of it. I love my kids. I want to be there for my kids and protect them. How can I do that when I don't even know where they're at and who they're with? So I felt hopeless.
I was lost. I was lost because I couldn't have the love of my son, and I couldn't find comfort in, getting high. There was no comfort anywhere for me. And it was a difficult time, But until you make that decision, it's hard.
I was there throughout the whole birth, and I was there from the beginning. And as a father, I still don't know how to cope with my daughter being under the care of someone else. I don't sleep at night. I sometimes sleep in the baby's room. It's a very uncomfortable situation, not knowing if she's okay, is she sleeping all right? Is someone answering her cry? Is someone changing her? It's just, I think I will never be able to cope with that as a father, as a parent, and I haven't been doing, drugs in that level. I try to do other productive things to keep me going, but it's very uncomfortable, and I think that I will never be able to feel joyful unless our kids are with us.
I honestly did learn and gain knowledge of myself and, the drug addictions, the way I was living my life, and knowing that, I can't do drugs and be the mom that I want to be. I could be, maybe mediocre mom, or, some may even say a bad mom, but with the drugs in my life, I couldn't be the best mom that I could.
Yeah, I think that's what matters to us right now, is to get to know them and know who they really are and stuff like that. And prime example, we went to a doctor's appointment, and what's so amazing about the situation is that I don't know certain questions that the doctor was asking me about my daughter, my newborn. And it's like I feel like I'm here, for no reason, because I can't give her information that it's imperative to my daughter's, growth and development. So I basically told them that I think it's in the best interest that the foster parents come along next time, because they could pretty much inform them of what's going on with my daughter. They have her 24/7, not me. So, but those are one of those moments that I felt frustrated, I guess, because I didn't know the answers to what was going on. So, but we're looking forward to getting to know them real soon. I would like for them to know that we appreciate everything that they're doing, and we look up to them as being our guardians, our babies, our children's guardians, and we just hope that they hold that position with honor and treat our baby with love and care, and know that we love them for doing that. That we love them for showing affection to our baby and taking care of her. That's what I would say to them.
My appreciation and my gratitude for them opening their home and their hearts. They love my little girl.
The family that Russell was placed with love him, and the hurtful feeling and the feeling of loss that I felt when she had him, it was a lot for me to take in, knowing that I was taking probably, one of her most precious possessions that she had away from her. It needs to be a partnership. It really does. You need to be a pair of hands that are, after the same goal, and it really is for the children.